Hello, this is Greg Allison from Galactic Greg's. Behind me in the building is a Saturn V rocket, and behind me, standing tall, is a replica of a Saturn V rocket. I'm in Huntsville, Alabama at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center, and yes, we have two Saturn V rockets here in Huntsville, Alabama. A real one, engineering development unit that is, and a replica here. And it's standing tall at 363 feet. The Saturn V rocket was the most powerful rocket ever flown in the history of man. 50 years ago today, this rocket sent man on his way to the moon. 16 July 1969. I was a 9-year-old boy and excited beyond belief by this. This rocket, you can see, it's a 3-stage rocket. And I'm going to tell you the first stage is the Saturn S1C, the second stage is the S2, and the third stage is the S4B. Now, why is the third stage called an S4? At one time it was intended to be the fourth stage of a much larger Nozzle rocket. It also had served as the third stage of something called a C3 concept in the early development history. And down here is five F1 engines. And in the distance over here, you can behind it see a Saturn 1B rocket. And they're getting ready to have a gala ceremony in here. We will go inside in a moment and look at this rocket in a little bit closer detail. So, quite a momentous event coming up here for a 50th anniversary, 16 July 1969. Of watching this rocket as we watch a jet airplane fly behind it. Yeah, today technology has taken us a long way in aviation and computers, but we have yet to replicate this. 50 years ago, this was our state of art. Today, 50 years later, we are struggling to get back to this level of capability. No other rocket other than a Saturn V has taken men beyond low Earth orbit. That's just a few hundred miles above the atmosphere of the Earth, in orbit around the Earth. This was the sole rocket, or a replica of the sole rocket, to actually take men into cislunar space, deep space, outside of low or Earth orbit. This rocket on the first stage measured 33 feet in diameter. And you could build a heck of a space station if you use that for modules. This rocket was launched successfully 13 times, although Apollo 6 did have an engine failure on it. That was a test flight, by the way. The Apollo 7 mission was the first manned mission of this rocket, and Apollo 8 took men around the moon, but not to land, in Christmas of 1968. This rocket had 13 launches, as I mentioned, and 15 of them were built. There's also 2 engineering development units and this replica right here. An amazing vehicle, lots of capability. In my previous video mentioned the engines. So I'm going to be talking a lot more about these rockets in upcoming videos. So do be sure to click subscribe to my channel and click the update notification bell. We have a rocket event coming up in celebration of this mission at the Straight Ale Brewery here in Huntsville. If you're in the community, please come by and see it. It's free and open to the public. It'll be on the 3rd floor, and they have a classroom. There'll be some signs there telling you how to get there. You can also see my SL2 rocket that I once ran for my life hanging from the ceiling of the SL2 brewery, a hybrid rocket, balloon-launched rocket, which I developed through HAL 5's HALO program, Altitude Liftoff, and also spun off other projects from that. The Saturn V, such an amazing vehicle. Please check my links below, other things to support my channel. More on this rocket and its development in subsequent videos. Please look at my video on development or on the F1 engine in the links above. First stage, S1C stage. These are 5 F1 engines. See them assembled together like this, hanging in the sky over your head. This is massive. This is an engineering development unit that was used here in Marshall Space Flight Center. This is the S1C first stage. And here is a model of the Saturn V rocket. You can see the interior, the plumbing, the engines, the thrust structure went up through the oxidizer tank, S1C, S1C fuel tank. The S1C tank was a combined tank of cryogenic fuel, the liquid oxidizer, and RP1, which was the rocket grade kerosene. The second stage and third stage both had cryogenic fuel and oxidizer. You see this had a single bulkhead here between the fuel tank and oxidizer tank. And this is the fuel of liquid hydrogen and oxidizer being liquid oxygen. And it used 5 J2 rocket engines. The third stage, the S4B stage, actually used 1 J2 rocket engine. Same fuel, lunar lander, and the astronauts up here at the very top, command module, support systems, and the capsule, Apollo capsule, and the launch escape system. There's your F1 engine. Looking inside, you see the baffles. Those are the baffles and injectors used to control the instabilities I mentioned yesterday. We'll step outside. Getting ready for gala event here. There's the 5 J2 engines. Thank you for watching.